Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've ever hugged a woman and felt her body stay polite instead of melting into you, you already know something was missing. And it's not your height, not your money, not your looks. It's something far more subtle and far more powerful. Before we go any deeper, subscribe and like this video, not because I need it, but because you need to train your mind to commit to growth. Every time you choose growth, you reinforce the man you're becoming. Now listen carefully. A hug is never just a hug. To most men, it's contact. To a woman, it's information. When your arms wrap around her, her nervous system starts reading you faster than her conscious mind ever could. She feels your confidence. She feels your hesitation. She feels your neediness. She feels your certainty. And she decides, in seconds, whether you are safe, strong, and desirable, or just familiar. Attraction is not triggered by pressure, it's triggered by presence. Most men hug from the shoulders. Quick squeeze, tap on the back, release. It's friendly, it's harmless, it's forgettable. But when a woman feels grounded energy, calm, steady, unhurried, something shifts. Her breathing slows, her guard lowers. Her subconscious registers leadership without dominance. And that is where secret attraction begins. You don't create desire by grabbing tighter, you create it by controlling yourself. A powerful hug communicates three things without a single word. I'm comfortable, I'm grounded, I'm not chasing you. When your body is tense, she feels it. When your hands are unsure, she feels it. When you're hugging her, hoping she'll like you more, she feels that too. And hope is never attractive. Certainty is. Over the next minutes, I'm going to show you the 4 psychological rules behind a hug that lingers in her mind long after you've let go. These are not tricks. They are adjustments in energy, timing, and intention that most men were never taught. Because no one taught you that touch is a language. And if you learn to speak it fluently, you don't have to say much at all. Most men make their first mistake before their arms even move. They ask for permission with their body. Not verbally, physically. They lean in halfway, they hesitate, they wait for her to complete the motion. That microsecond of uncertainty tells her everything. It tells her you're unsure of your place. It tells her you're hoping she accepts you. And attraction does not grow from hope. It grows from calm assumption. Rule number 1 is this. You initiate the hug with grounded certainty, not aggression, not force, certainty. When you step in fully. Your feet plant, your shoulders relax, your breathing stays slow. There's no rush in your movement. You are not lunging, you are not grabbing. You are inviting her into your space as if it's the most natural thing in the world. Women are extraordinarily sensitive to nervous energy. Her nervous system is scanning for stability. If your chest is tight and your breathing is shallow, she feels anxiety. If your movement is smooth and deliberate, she feels leadership. Leadership is attractive, not dominance, not control, leadership. When you open your arms, your body should say, "Come here," without needing the words. It's subtle, it's composed, it assumes connection rather than begging for it. And here's what most men don't understand. Hesitation makes her subconsciously take the masculine role. If she has to close the distance for you, her attraction dips, not because she dislikes you, but because polarity collapses. Grounded initiation preserves polarity. The moment you wrap your arms around her, your hands should settle naturally, not wandering, not stiff, strong but relaxed. Think of it like holding something valuable but not fragile. If you squeeze too tight, you communicate insecurity. If you barely touch her, you communicate fear. Balance is power, and power that doesn't need to prove itself is magnetic. When a woman feels a man who is physically composed, emotionally steady, and unhurried in his movements, her subconscious relaxes. That relaxation is the first spark of desire. It's subtle, but it's real. Attraction begins where tension ends. Your hug is not about impressing her. It's about showing her, without words, that being close to you feels natural, safe, and slightly electric. And that electricity doesn't come from force. It comes from certainty. Here's where most men completely sabotage themselves without even realizing it. They think a hug is purely physical. They think it's about closeness, warmth, or getting her to like them. That's a lie her subconscious sees through immediately. Rule number 2 is, every hug must communicate emotional safety first, desire second. When you hold a woman, she isn't just registering your body, she's scanning your energy. Is it chaotic? Is it nervous? Is it needy? Or is it calm, confident, and unshakable? That split-second reading decides if your hug feels electric or forgettable. Notice how some men hug like they're afraid she'll fall through their arms. They press, they tense, they squeeze, trying to create a connection. That pressure does the opposite. It triggers her flight reflex subtly, almost invisibly. She will release faster than you expect, maybe even with a polite smile, and your chance to spark attraction slips away. Instead, a hug should feel effortless. Like the world slows for a moment. Your chest is relaxed, your jaw is soft. Your hands rest in a way that says, "You belong here, and so do I." You are not trying to impress, you are demonstrating presence. Here's the truth most men never hear. Women are drawn to grounded calm. Nervous energy is repulsive, not cute. That's why a man who can hold her without rushing, without fidgeting, without overthinking, that man becomes unforgettable. Your hug sets the emotional tone. You are literally telling her without words, "I am stable, I am safe, I am desirable." That message penetrates deeper than any line or compliment ever could. Timing is everything. Hold too briefly and it feels casual, like any ordinary social gesture. Hold too long without attunement and you risk discomfort. But a controlled, deliberate pause, just long enough for her nervous system to register security, triggers something primal. Desire begins in the nervous system before it reaches the conscious mind. A hug done this way is never just physical. It's a psychological trigger, a silent conversation she feels in her chest, her spine, her heartbeat. You don't need to say a word, she's already responding. And that is how attraction starts. Not by trying, not by forcing, not by proving anything, but by becoming a man whose presence alone commands attention, sparks warmth, and creates desire before the words even matter. You are not hugging to impress, you are hugging to awaken. Now, let's get into the part that most men completely overlook, the subtle power of polarity. This is where the spark happens, the kind of attraction that lingers long after the hug ends. Most men hug like friends, safe, predictable, neutral, that never triggers secret desire. Rule number 3, your hug must maintain masculine-feminine energy, not through words, not through force, through intention, posture, and presence. Here's what that looks like. Your body stays grounded, strong, relaxed. Your energy doesn't chase hers. You don't collapse into her. You don't grip in fear she'll leave. You create a magnetic tension. She leans in, not because she has to, but because she wants to. Her feminine energy is pulled naturally toward your calm masculinity. Most men make the fatal mistake of mirroring her energy too much. She laughs, you laugh. She hugs lightly, you hug lightly. That's friendship. Polarity disappears. Desire fades. To create attraction, you must lead without dominance. Your hug sets a subtle rhythm. You move in first with calm certainty. You hold her just long enough for her nervous system to settle. You let your energy communicate stability and strength. And then, here's the trick, you release with a gentle confidence, not awkward hesitation. Think of it like music. You're the bass line, she's the melody. If you waver, stumble, or rush, the song dies. But when you hold your energy, she subconsciously feels the tension. And tension, my friend, is attraction. Another critical detail, your hands. Where they rest matters. Not high, not low. Comfortable, secure, non-intrusive. You are showing possession in a safe, masculine way. A subtle claim that says, you're mine to hold in this moment, without controlling her. Your breathing, posture, micro-expression, all of it communicates your energy. She's reading every fraction of a second. If you're rushed, uncertain, or anxious, it kills the subconscious pull instantly. If you are grounded, calm, and deliberate, the pull is irresistible. This is why some hugs are unforgettable, and others vanish from memory in seconds. It's not technique, it's energy, rhythm, and awareness. Master this, and every hug becomes a moment that lingers in her mind, sparking secret desire before a word is ever spoken. Attraction is psychological, not physical. And a hug, done correctly, is one of the most powerful psychological triggers a man can wield. Now we arrive at the rule that separates ordinary hugs from unforgettable, desire-triggering ones. Rule number 4. Your hug must create emotional resonance, the kind of subtle imprint that makes her feel something she can't name long after you've stepped back. Most men release too quickly. They think the hug is over the moment their arms leave her. Wrong. The real power is in the lingering effect. It's not about clinging, it's about leaving a trace of energy that she feels in her body and subconscious mind. This is the invisible signal that sparks curiosity, attraction, and even longing. Here's how it works. When you hug, you synchronize just slightly with her energy. Not mimicking, not matching, but attuning. Your breathing rhythm, your posture, the slight pressure of your hands, all of it communicates stability, warmth, and subtle desire. You are creating a shared emotional moment, a private signal that she cannot articulate. She might laugh, she might blush, she might pull away politely, but inside, her nervous system remembers. Timing is critical. Hold just long enough to let her subconscious process your energy, not a second longer than necessary. Too long, and discomfort replaces intrigue. Too short, and the connection evaporates. The goal is emotional resonance, not awkward tension. Your intention matters more than your technique. You are not hugging to impress. You are hugging to convey a message. I am here. I am certain. I am attuned to you. That's magnetic. That's irresistible. Another key factor, your gaze. Even for a brief moment, letting your eyes meet hers before, during, or right after the hug amplifies the impact. Eyes communicate interest, confidence, and presence far beyond words. Most men avoid this, and their hugs stay flat. The ones who do it with subtlety, who hold her in a steady, confident presence, create an imprint that lingers long after contact ends. Finally, your release is as important as your embrace. Pulling away with calm certainty, without awkward hesitation or lingering too long, leaves her mind curious, her imagination engaged, and her subconscious craving more. This is the hidden psychology most men never understand. A hug is not a social gesture. It's a tool to communicate masculine energy, confidence, and presence. Master this, and every touch you make leaves an imprint that words cannot replicate. You are no longer just hugging. You are sparking desire, creating intrigue, and imprinting a memory she can't ignore. If you apply this correctly, she will feel your presence long after the hug ends. And that, my friend, is the subtle art of attraction that most men never learn. Here's something almost no man realizes. The context of the hug amplifies its effect far more than the hug itself. It's not just about how you hold her, it's about when, where, and why you do it. A hug in a rush, in a crowded hallway, or with your mind elsewhere is meaningless. But a hug in a moment of connection, when her energy is open, becomes unforgettable. Think of your hug as a story. Every great story has tension, clarity, and resolution. The approach sets the tension. Your calm, grounded certainty creates anticipation. The embrace is the resolution, a brief, controlled connection that communicates security, desire, and presence. And the release leaves her with curiosity, the psychological hook that keeps her thinking about you long after you part. Most men completely ignore the prelude. They think a hug is just about arms and hands. Wrong. Your body language leading into it, the way you walk toward her, your subtle eye contact, your grounded posture, sets the stage. It primes her nervous system to receive your energy. Even micro-behaviors matter. A subtle tilt of your head, the relaxation in your shoulders, or the slight softening of your expression communicates confidence and calm. Women pick up on these details instantly, even if they can't articulate why they feel drawn to you. That's the beauty of subconscious attraction. It's invisible, yet undeniable. Another layer is timing your embrace with emotion. If you hug at a moment when she's laughing, sharing a story, or feeling vulnerable, the hug becomes more powerful. You're creating emotional association, linking your energy to her heightened feelings. That's why certain hugs linger in memory. They are attached to emotional peaks. Never underestimate subtle contrasts either. A man who hugs with steady calmness immediately after a moment of tension, stress, or uncertainty creates a stark contrast that draws her subconscious attention. That tension and release pattern is primal. It activates attraction at a deep neurological level. Finally, your mindset is crucial. You must hug with intention, not habit. Habitual hugs communicate nothing, but intentional hugs, every movement, touch, and release thought through, communicate strength, presence, and subtle desire. When you combine energy, timing, posture, and emotional context, a single hug can leave a lasting imprint on her subconscious. You are no longer just touching her. You are speaking a language she feels, not hears. And that is the secret most men will never learn. Master this, and your hugs stop being ordinary. They become magnetic, memorable, and irresistibly attractive. Now let's dive into what separates a good hug from one that sticks in her mind for days. Subtle variation. Most men think once they master the hug, every embrace is the same. That's a trap. Women unconsciously notice repetition. The brain craves unpredictability and attraction. This is where your mastery shines. Small adjustments in timing, pressure, and energy create layers of intrigue. For example, sometimes you hug firmly but briefly, enough to transmit confidence and presence, then release before she fully relaxes. Other times, slightly longer, letting your grounded energy linger without pressure. Each hug communicates a slightly different message: dominance, warmth, security, or playful intimacy. Women respond to these variations subconsciously, feeling drawn into your unpredictably magnetic energy. Your body language during the hug is just as important as the touch itself. Subtle shifts, a micro lean, a gentle tilt of the head, your chest angled toward hers, communicate interest without words. These micro movements signal confidence, calmness, and masculine energy all at once. Most men miss them entirely, and their hugs feel flat. Breathing is another secret weapon. Match your rhythm subtly to hers, or maintain a slower, steadier pace. This creates a feeling of control and stability that her nervous system responds to before her conscious mind even notices. She feels safe. She feels drawn. She feels desire. Your mindset is everything. You are not hugging to get her approval. You are hugging to communicate your energy and intention clearly and unapologetically. That mindset shifts the entire dynamic. She picks up on your certainty instantly, and that is irresistible. Even the release can vary subtly. Sometimes you step back with calm confidence, eyes meeting hers just long enough to leave curiosity simmering. Other times, a soft smile or playful tilt adds personality and emotional nuance. Each variation keeps her subconscious guessing, keeping her mind occupied with you even after the hug ends. Remember, repetition kills attraction. Variation enhances it. You want her nervous system engaged, not numb. Every hug should feel familiar enough to feel safe, but unpredictable enough to spark desire. Mastering this makes you a man whose touch is remembered, desired, and craved. You aren't just hugging her, you are sending signals that resonate in ways most men can't even perceive. When you combine grounded initiation, emotional resonance, polarity, context, and subtle variation, your hugs become a silent, magnetic language of attraction, one she will subconsciously respond to long after you walk away. Now here's the final insight, the one most men will never grasp. It's not about technique, pressure, or even timing. It's about the story your hug tells her subconscious. Every hug communicates a narrative. I am calm, I am confident, I am present. You are safe, and this moment is ours. Master this story, and you're no longer just touching her. You're imprinting a memory she feels, not just remembers. Think of it this way. Most men hug like a handshake, transactional, forgettable. But when you hug with intention, energy, and awareness, you're creating a psychological landmark in her mind. Her nervous system stores that moment as emotionally significant. It's why some hugs linger for hours, even days, long after they happen. That's the invisible pull you're cultivating. The truth most men ignore is this. Women don't consciously think, that hug was good. They feel it. Desire, curiosity, comfort, intrigue, all of it is processed subconsciously. And when you hug correctly, you are not just eliciting a fleeting feeling, you are embedding a memory of you as a man who is strong, grounded, and magnetic. Here's the subtle difference. You are not hugging to get a reaction. You are hugging to communicate your presence fully, so her body and mind respond naturally. No lines, no pressure, no trying, just energy, grounded certainty, and subtle, deliberate connection. That's how attraction becomes automatic. Even after the hug ends, your presence remains in her nervous system. She may act casual, she may smile politely, she may even joke about it. But beneath that, the imprint of your energy lingers. That is the psychological leverage most men never learn to wield. Yet it's what makes a man unforgettable. Combine everything you've learned. Grounded initiation, emotional resonance, polarity, context, variation, and this narrative mindset. Every hug becomes a silent statement of who you are, a man she subconsciously wants to be near. A man whose touch communicates far more than words ever could. When you truly master this, a simple hug becomes a tool of magnetic attraction, a subtle way to command attention, ignite curiosity, and plant desire. Women won't always understand why they feel drawn to you. That's the point. Your energy does the talking. Remember, the hug is not just touch. It is psychology, energy, and presence woven into one unforgettable moment. Master it, and you become a man whose presence, confidence, and magnetic energy she will never forget. This is the hidden language of attraction, and now you know how to speak it fluently.